Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you build AI agents. Look, if you've been working with AI for any amount of time, you already know the drill, right? An agent gives you a bad answer, so your immediate gut-level reaction is to just dive in and write a bigger, more complex prompt. You add more rules, you add edge cases, you're practically pleading with the AI. Well, today, we're moving entirely away from those bloated prompts. We are going to explore the craft of curating dynamic context. It's a massive shift in how we approach building these systems, and honestly, mastering it is what will finally make your applications reliable.
So let me ask you to be honest for a second. Are you padding your prompts like a desperate high school student just trying to hit a word count on a late-night essay? You know the feeling. You find yourself writing paragraphs of all-caps instructions, begging the AI to please just format the JSON correctly. If you're hitting a wall trying to fix bad answers by writing longer and longer instructions, you're absolutely not alone. It's literally the most common reflex in development right now. But actually, scratch that. It's not just a reflex, it's the exact thing holding your agents back from successfully executing complex, multi-step tasks.
Here is our agenda for today. 1. The big prompt trap. 2. When context goes wrong. 3. Prompting versus context engineering. 4. Inside the context stack. And 5. 4 steps to context.
Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, the big prompt trap, and why padding prompts is a bad idea.
The golden rule here is this: treat the model's context window as a scarce working memory. We've got to stop treating it like an endless dumping ground. Yes, modern large language models boast massive context windows now, sometimes absorbing entire books at once. But that doesn't mean you should use all that space. Think of it like this. Just because you have a giant walk-in closet doesn't mean you should shove literally everything you own into it when all you need to do is grab a single rain jacket to go outside. When you stuff an agent's working memory with hundreds of pages of past conversation and irrelevant rules, it totally loses focus on the immediate task at hand.
Moving right along to Section 2, when context goes wrong and the 4 failure modes.
Because here's the thing, when you overload that scarce working memory, the system doesn't just slow down. It breaks down in very specific, predictable ways. As our source material points out, when you fill up that window, accuracy often drops because errors sneak in. Hoarding data causes your model's accuracy to just plummet over time. When an agent runs continuously, taking action after action, a massive unmanaged context window allows stale text to stick around and completely derail the whole process. There's this myth that more context gives the model more intelligence. The reality? Longer context simply gives the model more opportunities to trip over its own shoelaces.
So, let's break down the 4 exact failure modes you'll see in the wild when a multi-turn conversation snowballs out of control. Knowing their names is the first step to fixing them. First up is poisoning. This happens when the AI hallucinates a tiny detail, like say a fake IP address, early in the chat. Because you kept the entire history in the context window, the model reads that fake IP 10 turns later, assumes it's a hard fact, and reuses it. Boom, the context is poisoned. Second is distraction. Instead of making a fresh plan for the next step, the model gets bogged down trying to fix a minor typo from an hour ago. Third is confusion. This is where stuffing the prompt with extra unrelated just-in-case details actually nudges the model toward completely wrong conclusions. And finally, clash. This is when 2 different sources you dumped into the context quietly contradict each other, and the model just silently picks the wrong one without telling you.
All right, Section 3, prompting versus context engineering, and why this is such a massive paradigm shift.
To defeat those 4 failure modes we just talked about, you have to master context engineering. By definition, this is the craft of deciding exactly what the model should see, and crucially, what it should absolutely not see at each discrete step before a runtime call. Unlike just writing static instructions, this is a highly dynamic process, right? It's about curating the absolute smallest set of high-signal tokens to steer the model and assembling it fresh every single time the model needs to think. The crucial difference really comes down to this. Prompt engineering is how you word the ask. It's your instructions, your few-shot examples, your behavioral constraints, and hey, you definitely still need it to set the persona. But context engineering, that is how you assemble the reality the model operates in. It's pulling the exact right tools, the relevant facts, just the necessary history, and the strict output format, dynamically right before the compute cycle even happens.
You basically have to start treating the AI model as a brain with an incredibly limited short-term memory. Your one and only job as a developer is packing that short-term memory perfectly with exactly what it needs for the immediate next action. Nothing more, nothing less. Think about it. If the agent is currently trying to write a summary paragraph, it literally does not need to know about a database connection error from 3 weeks ago. Keep that noise out of the short-term memory so the brain can actually focus.
Let's dive into Section 4, Inside the Context Stack, and the 7 key pieces you need to know.
Think of a modern context stack as having 7 distinct pieces you must explicitly manage. First, your instructions, the core system prompts and guardrails. Second, user input, which is just the current ask. Third, retrieved facts, and notice this doesn't say entire documents. These are just the top, highly relevant semantic snippets. Fourth, tools, the specific functions the model can call right now. Fifth, short-term notes. Instead of passing an endless chat transcript, you pass a tight summary of recent steps. Sixth, long-term memory for stable, verified facts. And seventh, the output format. This heavily uses JSON schemas to lock in the exact shape of the answer so things don't break down the line. Managing these 7 variables independently gives you total, precise control.
Let's actually put this into practice with a security agent called LogLook. Imagine we want it to analyze a massive wall of Azure security alerts. The old chatbot way is just throwing an instruction. Analyze today's logs and tell me what's wrong. You dump 50,000 lines of text into the window, hit send, and you get hallucinations and random guesses. But the context way is a game changer. Our LogLook agent gets a very specific 0 to 4 severity rubric. It's given specific read and grep tools to search for what it needs, and initially we only feed it critical errors from the last hour. Same underlying AI model, but because it served a curated, clean plate of facts with a strict mission, it behaves like a highly trained analyst instead of a confused intern.
And finally, Section 5, 4 Steps to Context, a repeatable framework.
To build a system as reliable as that LogLook agent, you need a process. These 4 chronological steps, write, select, compress, and isolate, are your primary defense against the context snowball effect. The absolute best developers run their applications through this invisible pipeline before every single request. It guarantees the working memory stays impeccably clean.
Here is exactly how we apply that pipeline to our LogLook application. First, write. As the agent investigates a problem, we force it to save its scratchpad reasoning externally to a database. We don't loop all those messy thoughts back into the next prompt. Second, select. We use hybrid retrieval to pull only the top error bursts from the logs, actively ignoring normal traffic. Third, compress. As the investigation drags on, we drop the raw history entirely and compress older findings into tight, 3-line recaps. And finally, isolate. This is huge. We break the job into specialized subagents. A reader extracts the facts, a scorer applies the severity policy, and a writer composes the summary. Why? Because if the reader hallucinates while looking at a messy log file, isolating the writer into its own clean context window prevents that hallucination from bleeding over and poisoning the final output.
So, what does this all mean? The overarching lesson here is crystal clear. Curate your context, do not hoard it. Context engineering isn't just a trendy industry buzzword, folks. It is the natural, necessary progression of prompt engineering. It's the vital, daily discipline of relentlessly prioritizing signal over noise. And honestly, this discipline is exactly how we transition from building simple, fragile chatbots to engineering complex, robust AI applications that actually serve as reliable collaborators.
Stop writing endless pleading essays in your system prompts. It is officially time to stop hoarding text and start engineering true context. So I'll leave you with this. How will you completely rebuild your agent's working memory today?